Hey everyone, it's Drew. So what I wanted to do today is go over some of the housing statistics. These are the official statistics that came out from the Home Builder Association here in Columbia, South Carolina. So I'm going to be doing a trailing video of my own research to verify all this, but this just really helps you see the local information of what's taking place in the housing market. I know we hear a lot on the news. Typically, that is from a national perspective. Real estate is very heavily focused regionally. So I want to give you the regional stats and make certain that it matches up with what your thought process is, or that you have just the best information to reframe and understand what exactly is taking place. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing a screen. And let's go ahead and open this thing up. I went ahead and highlighted some of these items. So we will go ahead and just take a look right now. So again, what this is doing is comparing the end of May to 2020 of May. So again, these are trailing stats, but some of these numbers are going to actually, in my opinion, look ridiculous. And that's the way the real estate market has become. I'm going to be doing a video to tell you where I believe the market is heading, but this is just instead of take my word for it, let's just take the data for it, right? Okay, so May 2021, the highlights they said was, okay, pending sales increased 11%, but here's the big item. Inventory shrank 56.2%. Okay, the prices were up 12.5%. Again, in Columbia, we usually see a 3% increase in price. So that's like 4 years worth of appreciation. Days on market went down almost by half, 25 days on the market. And that, of course, reflects things that have been way overpriced and don't sell. We're seeing a market where if any of y'all have looked at houses, if you don't see it within the first weekend it's on the market, you pretty much have missed out. I'm actually surprised of how limited time realtors are giving to get your best and final offers in. But I guess realtors out there figure, okay, if they got 5 offers, that's enough to get the best offer. That's a different story. And of course, it's saying, okay, what's the headwinds here? Of course, increased material and labor costs and supply chain challenges. And I mean, the reality is there's just not that much inventory on the market right now, and buyers are ready to go for it. Well, we can talk one-on-one if now's the time to buy for you. I need to know your personal situation, but I will tell you that stats like this I haven't seen in 13 years. I saw them at the end. I got in right at the crash, and I was seeing crazy numbers like this skewed to the other side. So right now we are not on an even scale, right? Well, one's much further down. So you got to realize what you're going to be bidding into if you try to buy a house right now. But again, the biggest thing on this screen right here, 56% change in inventory. That means there's just not that much that's going to meet your needs out there. Pending sales, those have been up 20%, so that's a big one. Days on market, down 43%. Again, if a house is priced even close to right, it's often getting offers in the first weekend. Average sales price on this one is up 15.6%, but this is one that I really want you to pay attention to, guys. Housing Affordability Index. That means can people afford the houses right now? It's down 14%. Usually the affordability index will drop when the interest rates are rising. Right now, the housing's going up so much that affordability is going down. Now we may enter a situation where there's still limited inventory and interest rates go up. And at that point, that's one of the reasons we're seeing the pricing go up so much, is people are just afraid of what's going to happen to interest rates. And it's a situation, if you spend, let's say you spend $5,000 more on a house than you would in 2 months. If you're getting a 30-year mortgage, you're going to end up saving more than that $5,000 from what you have to pay in interest over the life of the loan. So they're not making bad choices necessarily, but we got to know where how the numbers are situated. Okay, new listings. You can see here, this number, to be honest, to me, doesn't make that much sense. And again, we are in a marketplace where we're comparing it to this time in 2020, where not a ton was hitting the market. But in December of 2020, there was a 30% change of new listings. April and May, 37% and 19%. So that right there really surprises me. And that doesn't really even almost match up with all the other indicators. So I'm going to keep moving ahead. Pending sales, I don't pay as much attention to this. You can see they're going up, but there's a couple of reasons that can happen for this sometimes. Like pending doesn't not mean closed. Let's pay attention to closed. The reason I say that right now, and there's different strategies involved, and talk to me if you want to know the strategy in detail, but we're seeing more houses falling out of contract than we are hitting the market. So it's a situation of these pending sales, they may not appraise. If they don't appraise, they may hit the market again. So pending sales can be a little misleading. I want to pay attention more to the closed sales. And this is skewed just a little less, but it's still saying the same story for the most part. Let's see. Okay. Here's, again, this chart tells it all. Days on market. If you want to buy a house in this market, you have to be pre-approved. You have to go with the strongest loan type you can get. Right now, if you want to win a house, here's what you're probably going to need to write it as: cash, maybe as is, or let them know you're not really looking to nickel and dime them on repairs. The appraisal contingency is a huge one right now. If you can remove that, you have a much stronger chance of winning the offer, because agents realize the comps don't justify some of these sales prices. So we got to rely on an unknown third party to come in at that number. So if someone will come in and say, 6 months ago this house was selling for $100,000, now it's selling for $120. An appraiser, maybe they say it's worth $120 now, but if they say it's worth $100, there's a $20,000 gap there. And if someone can't bring that amount of money down at closing, it's going to fall through. So if they were to come and say, listen, I'll pay $120, and if it doesn't appraise, don't worry about it. I got the cash. We're going to close. Those are the type of offers that are winning, going under contract, and closing in this market. Median sales price, that is quite the upper line, guys. So we're sitting here 140 to, that's a significant rise. Prior year 185, now median sales price is 211. So that's a big change. Okay, average sales price again, 13% higher, 14%, somewhere in that range. Percent of list price received, I don't really know if I believe this stat, but that's why I'm sharing these. It's not about my opinion. It's not about, always the way I feel about things. These are the numbers. Let me tell you the reason I see it both ways. Right now, there's so many offers. A lot of houses are going above list price. I'm been in multiple situations where I've had a buyer who missed out when we were $10,000 above list price. So that's going to skew these numbers up. However, we're also seeing a lot of houses where the listing agent is telling the seller, or just the way the seller's here, and they're like, I just want to, it may be worth it. I love using the even numbers. So that's why I keep coming back to 100,000. My house may be worth 100,000, but I want to list it for 120,000. In that case, the good realtors are still going to run the numbers, let their clients know where the house should be priced at. And if there's only one or two offers, instead of 120, it may go down to, 105, 110. But if it was priced at 100, where it should have been, or I think you even go above the market because that's where it's heading. So if you price it at 110, all of a sudden they fight over a list, it's at 115 to 120. So they're actually getting what the seller wanted. They just had to go a different way. Let the buyers bid the price up don't be the seller who lets the price get bid down. So anyways, but that's what we're seeing there is the percent of list price received is going up. I got a fan who's joining me. Again, best chart right here, most important chart.
I'm his son.
He is my son and he's my business partner. Okay, tell them all, say hi.
Hi, we're thinking about buying the new 2022 Nissan when it's gonna come out.
That's right.
Truck.
We've been looking at some trucks, guys. So you go have fun with lightning.
Okay.
Okay. I'll wrap this up and I'll be in there to play.
And also, this video is sponsored by Lightning McQueen toys because they're really cool. And if you didn't know what they are, you gotta watch the movie because it's really cool. And there's a joke about it saying "What in his cups?" because Duck has the piston cup and he has and then Mater says, "What? He has one in his cup?"
That's right. Okay, I'll be there in a bit, bud.
And also, you gotta get Lightning McQueen toys because they're really cool.
We are not sponsored by Lightning McQueen. This is just a free shout out to cars, right? And as a side note, if you ever go to Disney World and you love cars,
you gotta go to the cars land.
Yeah, do you remember what the movie was? It was All-Star Resorts.
And also, you gotta go to Cozy Cone.
The Cozy Cone. They have the Cozy Cone at Disney All-Star Resorts, the movies section. And stay in the car section. That's a cool area. Okay, so we'll continue this. Affordability is down. We went over that earlier. You can see it's down dramatically. So at some point, things go down, they come back up. So what that probably means is either interest rates are going to stay low and housing prices are going to start peaking and coming back down. We're going to see more inventory. Something should typically happen, but this COVID is something that the world's never seen, so we can't give you a date exactly. Okay, inventory of homes, as you, I'm sure, have heard, it just keeps going down, right? And I'm going to be doing some stats of seeing how many more houses are starting to hit the market. Now that we are in the summertime, we are starting to see a bit more inventory, but it's still tight. Supplies of inventory, this is what's used to figure out, is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? As you probably know, it's a major seller's market right now. Holy cow, this number is just ridiculous. The month supply of inventory is now 63% lower than it was last year. Last year, it was peaking into a seller's market. So that tells you it's an extreme seller's market. So I hope these stats helped you. If it did, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, put down what you found most important in this video, even if it is our movie suggestions. So that's where we're at on things, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. So just shout out if you need anything. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.